All right, good evening and welcome. My name is Matt Hearn. I'm a financial planner with Cannon Wealth Management and LPL Financial. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're excited to kick off episode 6 of our video series airing each second Tuesday monthly at 6 p.m. We've called this series Method to My Money, and we're addressing some of the topics we get questions about most often from our clients. Thank you for being here. Some of you are joining via Zoom, so we appreciate that, and others are on Facebook Live. We're also going to air a replay on YouTube and on our LinkedIn as well, our Cannon Wealth Management LinkedIn. So please check us out there if you missed tonight. Please, if you enjoyed this tonight, go ahead and mark your calendars to join us each second Tuesday monthly at 6 p.m. In past episodes, we've covered Retire Without a Pay Cut, Kids in Cash, Preparing the Next Generation to Make Smart Financial Choices, Tax-Efficient Giving, 10 end-of-year tips to trim your taxes. Gosh, that's hard to say. And Finding Confidence in Your Future. And tonight, we're going to address financial simplicity, getting and staying organized. A lot of fun, right? But it's something very important and helpful when you get in a jam and you need to find something. So we have some future topics coming up: investing in a rapidly changing world, caring for loved ones in sickness or in health, finding peace in your finances, income and expense planning, where did all the money go, leaving a lasting and loving legacy, and then we're going to have an episode for small business owners, planning for the next chapter. Once again, mark your calendars. Join us each month on the second Tuesdays monthly at 6 p.m. And if you miss a webinar, you can look for those replays as we talked about before. Kimberly Stone, our marketing director, helps us behind the scenes with these things. Thank you, Kimberly. And one last thing, if you enjoy these webinars, please share with your friends, like, subscribe, send us a thumbs up or a smiley face or whatever you've got there on your computer. We want these videos to be helpful to as many people as possible. So certainly let folks know about us. Your feedback is greatly appreciated. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you, and we'll get started here. All right, so let's get started. Without any further delay, let's dive into tonight's topic, Method to My Money, Episode 6, Financial Simplicity, Getting and Staying Organized. An important part of managing your financial future, I guess you might say, or your finances, is keeping your financial records organized. Or as one of my colleagues said today, believe it or not, actually said this, get your poop in a pile. Why is this helpful? Well, there are a few reasons that come to mind. Sometimes you just need to find something quickly, and whether it's a utility bill to show proof of residency or maybe a social security card for wage reporting purposes. There may be times when you need to locate a financial record or document, and you'll need to locate it relatively fast. By taking the time to clear out or clean out that financial junk drawer, you'll be able to find what you need exactly when you need it. Number 2, when you're organized financially, you can more easily and take action when opportunities present themselves. I remember when I first heard about the ability to obtain a mortgage, this was probably 20 years ago, I had no idea that we might qualify for a mortgage on our meager income back then and actually be able to buy a home. So I almost gave up on the process because gathering all that financial information was difficult, was overwhelming. Certainly, if I had been better organized back then, I could have saved myself a lot of stress and difficulty. And then number 3, when you're organized financially, your family members can focus less on financial matters and more on taking care of you in the event of a health emergency. So being organized financially in the event of your unexpected death or maybe unexpected health crisis, so to speak, definitely allows your family members to focus more on either in the untimely death, remembering you and spending time with loved ones, or in the event of health emergency, taking care of you. So having those records organized and in place and things where they should be can certainly help your loved ones. So that brings us to what should you keep? This is one of the questions we get often as we talk to people about getting organized financially. If you tend to keep stuff because you might need it someday, quote unquote, your desk or home office is probably overflowing with non-essential documents. One of the first steps in determining what records to keep really is to ask ourselves, why do I need to keep this? Documents you should keep are likely to be those that are difficult to obtain, such as tax returns, legal contracts, insurance claims, proof of identity, things of that nature. On the other hand, if you have documents and records that are easily duplicated elsewhere, such as online banking or credit card statements, you probably do not need to keep paper copies of the same information. Actually, I'll mention at our firm, Cannon Wealth Management, we provide our clients with access to an online secure vault, pictured above on the slide there, where they can store financial documents, deeds, titles, tax returns, insurance policies, wills, trusts, and more. This online vault is encrypted so that only those with your username and password can see what's in there. I use it personally as an alternative to paper files that can get lost, stolen, or simply be hard to find when you need them. Another question we get often is, how long should you keep your records? Generally, a good rule of thumb is to keep financial records and documents only as long as necessary. For example, you may want to keep an ATM or credit card receipts temporarily until you've reconciled them with your bank and maybe your credit card statement. On the other hand, if a document is legal in nature or difficult to replace, you want to keep it for longer periods of time, or possibly even indefinitely. An easy way to prevent paperwork from piling up is to remember the phrase, out with the old, in with the new. For example, when you receive this year's auto insurance policy, you can discard the one from last year. When you receive your annual investment statement at the end of the year, you can discard all those monthly or quarterly statements that you've been keeping. Also, review your files at least once a year to keep your filing system on the right track. That just keeps us from having too much clutter in there, making sure things are on track. Finally, when you are ready to get rid of certain records and documents, don't just throw them in the garbage. To protect sensitive information, you should invest in a good quality shredder, or actually our clients bring their documents to us and we have them professionally shredded for them. So if you have a service like that, you can take advantage of. Especially, you want to make sure that documents like that have social security numbers, account numbers, or other personal information are shredded. And then some financial records may have more specific timetables. For example, the IRS generally recommends that taxpayers keep federal tax returns and supporting documentation for a minimum of 3 years, up to 7 years after the date of filing. Certain circumstances may even warrant keeping your tax records indefinitely. Listed below are some recommendations on how long to keep specific documents. Records for 1 year or less, bank or credit union statements, credit card statements, utility bills, auto and homeowners insurance policies. And then when you think about records that you want to keep for more than a year, tax returns and supporting documentation, mortgage contracts, property appraisals, annual retirement and investment statements, and receipts for major purchases and home improvements. Some records to keep indefinitely would be birth, death, and marriage certificates. Obviously, we want to keep those indefinitely. Adoption records, citizenship and military discharge papers, Social Security card. Keep in mind, of course, these things can be duplicated, but they're difficult to duplicate. So you want to keep those really indefinitely. By the way, I'll mention this briefly. We're actually tonight, and as long as we can, we have a limited period of time here where we're going to be able to give away access to our financial organization system. We've posted a link for access. Actually, a link will be in the comments, in the chat section of this webinar on Zoom, and also in the comments section on Facebook Live. where you can sign up for a short video or phone consultation with a financial planner. This is completely free, no obligation. During that meeting, we'll provide you with access to our financial organization system, and then we'll share with you some additional resources to help you get started on your way to financial organization. All right, now that we've discussed a little bit about what you should keep and how long you should keep it, I'd like to show you a quick video here.
Remember, you were a kid. Things were simple. Life was good. Everything you owned could fit into a box. All your worldly possessions in one safe place. It made you feel secure. Time passed. You collected more things and more boxes. Life became less simple. Here's a question. Do you know where everything is and what everything is worth? If you don't, you should. If you want to know, you can. Now you can see everything you own, all in one place. A private and secure location where your data is consolidated into one clear picture of you. Your personal website makes getting organized simple. It's easy to connect with all your financial accounts. As the markets change throughout the day, your balances recalculate to keep you up to date. To stay on track, you can create a budget and view your spending habits, monitor cash flow, and see your bottom line at any time. Automatic alerts track changes in your accounts. If there's a problem or an opportunity, we'll know about it. Interactive workshops show how your investment and spending choices can impact your cash flow, affect retirement, and influence your estate options. You can collaborate with us online in real time. We use an innovative simulation engine to visualize multiple what-if scenarios. You can see the potential effects of your decisions, not just today, but throughout your entire lifetime. There's a digital vault where your important documents can be stored for safekeeping and accessed by you from anywhere. We provide you with up-to-date data so you can evaluate your options, and with a click, print out reports to see your complete financial picture. We give you the tools to connect with everything you own, so you know what everything is worth, all in one place. From Wall Street to Main Street, those who know what they have fare better than those who don't. If you want to know, we can show you how.
All right, so thank you for watching that. That short video there is designed really to give you kind of a taste for the financial planning and also the vault system that we use. It's a secure place where you can keep your documents, keep a lot of your electronic files. Of course, some people, when they think about, where do I store my documentation? Where do I store my financial files? They'd rather keep it in a fire-resistant file cabinet, a safe, or a safe deposit box. If space is tight, or maybe you just want to reduce clutter, you might consider electronic storage for some of your financial records. You can save copies of online documentation or scan documents and convert them to electronic form, and you can store them in a software like the one I just showed you. You'll want to keep backup copies on a portable storage device or hard drive and make sure that your computer files are secure, of course. You could also use a cloud storage service like the one I just showed you. This will actually encrypt your uploaded information and store it remotely so that you can access that information really from anywhere. If you use cloud storage, make sure to use a reliable company that has a good reputation and offers automatic backup and technical support. Once you've found a place to keep your records, it may be helpful to organize and store them according to a specific categories like banking, insurance, proof of identity. We can actually help you with that as well. We have a worksheet we can provide to you that will give you some categories. I'd like to show you, another option for organizing financial records is to create a financial document map. Now this is, I think, important. I actually did one of these recently simply because I had never done it before and I was getting ready to talk about it with you tonight. And I thought, I need to have something like this. So what this is it's a detailed list of where you have your financial records. This list can be helpful when you're trying to locate a specific document. It can also really assist your loved ones in locating your financial records in the event of an emergency. Typically, a financial document map will include personal information, personal contacts like your attorney's name and phone number, tax preparer's name, financial advisor. Online accounts with usernames and passwords will typically be on a document like this. And then you will have a listing of specific locations of important documents, whether they be in a safe, whether they be in the home office, or wherever they are. They'll be listed out there. And so having a financial document map can be extremely important for your loved ones in the event that you are not able to help them with those things. All right, so finally, we want to talk about protecting your data just briefly here. I'm not a technology expert, but just a few tips on protecting your data. Transitioning your document storage from paper to digital is a key component of getting your house in order, at least I think it is. If you choose to use an encrypted online service like the one I showed you earlier, you simply need to be sure that software provider uses proper data encryption and that you keep your username and password safe. Now, what is proper data encryption? I would reach out to a technology expert to really look at the data, maybe even have to pay them a little something to look at that for you, but look at the software, excuse me, and make sure that they can say, hey, this is a good software to use. Also be sure you only log in from internet connections that you know are trustworthy. This is really important. You don't want to just log in from your local coffee shop Wi-Fi. You want to be sure that you're logging in from internet connections that are trustworthy. Be careful about trying to access financial information when you're away from home, maybe on an internet connection that you're unfamiliar with. Never log into any of your financial accounts when using a public or unsecured network. If you're storing your files and data on your computer at home or on a backup hard drive or local server, you need to ensure the security of your in-home network. The computers, the backup servers and hard drives, they need to be encrypted. They need to have full disk encryption. That means, among other things, making sure you have up-to-date antivirus and anti-spyware software, as well as firewalls and good spam filter. A good system for periodically backing up the data on your computer is also essential. So, all right. So one more thing. If you are saving financially sensitive documents on a local hard drive, your computer, or on a hard drive in your home, they could be manna for identity thieves. You'll need to take steps to password protect your computer as well as those sensitive documents. So not only do the documents need to be protected, but your computer itself. Taking this step won't guarantee that you'll never fall prey to hackers, but that step might actually encourage the hacker to pick on someone else when they see that there's a good password on your computer. All right. That wraps up tonight's episode of Method to My Money, Financial Simplicity, Getting and Staying Organized. This is an area that we're focused on here at Cannon Wealth Management. We're really focused on this year as we try to help our clients get organized financially. And it's just something we think is important. So if you're struggling with this and you really want help, reach out to us. Let us know that you'd like some help with this. We'd love to help you. I have time for questions. I want to see if we've got any questions out here on our question and answer board. All right. If you do think of a question you'd like to ask, feel free to jump on that Q&A there at the bottom of the screen if you're on Zoom and ask a question. If you're on Facebook Live, just shoot us a question in the comments and we'll reach out to you as soon as we can. Let's see if there's anything out here. No, I don't see any questions. So, oh wait, here's one that just came through. It says, if I sold my father's land and house in 2010, okay, so in 2010, that would be 11 years ago, right? Is it safe? The question asked, is it safe to go ahead and get rid of those records? So my answer to that would be probably not. And the reason is, even though it is over 10 years, this is a transaction that could have tax ramifications down the road. Now, it probably won't have tax ramifications for the seller, but possibly for the buyer, because that will distinguish the cost basis on that property. So But honestly, if I'm the seller or the buyer, I'm probably going to keep documentation on that big of a transaction. I'll probably keep that indefinitely. So great question. All right, well, that's all we have time for tonight. I'm going to go ahead and unshare my screen here. Actually, let me jump through the last few slides here. That's a little bit of information on how to reach us. If you'd like to reach out to us, we never charge a fee for first sit-down consultation just to get to know each other. No fee, no obligation. So reach out to us if we can be of help. And we have our legal disclaimer. So read that, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up. Again, just as a reminder, the replay of this video will be posted on our Cannon Wealth Management Facebook page, cannon-wealth.com website, and YouTube channel just as soon as possible. Thank you to Kimberly for that. Please, if you found this information helpful, consider liking, subscribing, sharing with friends and family members. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Have a great evening.
I'm Matt Hearn, and this is Method to My Money.